That's an expensive litter box there, Cap. Whatnot, but back in the day when this thing was built, the model I think is like a D20. So it's a 4-cylinder, 5-speed, 2-wheel drive, short bed, which I don't even know if they had a short bed, long bed. It's a standard cab. Nothing really special. Well, I mean, it is special because in this area, you can't find these. They're all gone. They're all rotted out. There's nothing left together. And then, you know, I'd be driving by and I see the truck sitting out by the shop, just sitting in the corner, not doing nothing. So I always assumed it was someone who worked there's truck and they were just working on it when they had time. So one day I'm driving by and I'm like, I gotta ask him about this truck. So I swing in there, go say hello, and I say, hey Frankie, what's up with the little Nissan out there? He goes, what, you want it? I'm like, I don't know, what's the deal? Does it run? Does it not run? I see it just sitting, I never see it move. So he brings me out there. Now, like I always should do, I didn't do an initial video when I got it, but just imagine the truck as it looks now, but dirty as all heck from sitting outside, because it was not washed. It had been sitting outside, so it had all that green crap from trees, and it was just, you know, you could see through the dirt and see that the underneath was good quality, but it looked like crap. So looked the truck over. We go back and forth about the price. I started up, I drive it a little bit. I could tell one of the brakes is kind of locked up from sitting. The interior's kind of garbage on it, but the body, you know, looks good. So we make a deal, I buy the truck. Get the interior together. Now when I bought it, had these buckets that are sitting in there now. So I had these buckets in there. It had that center console. That center console was tan. I actually, just this last weekend, I took it out and I used some dye/interior paint and I painted it gray. Dye/interior paint and I painted it gray. It's a slate gray color to match the interior. It had a vinyl carpet in it, which I pulled out, and I got a gray, I had a vinyl mat floor, which I cannot stand. And I pulled it out and I got a gray carpet. So the interior is all apart. It's got to get put back together. It's basically, I mean, the only difference was when I picked it up is the seats were bolted in and that center console was tan. So I'm going to redo the interior. I'm going to put a nice stereo system in it. I'm going to do some cool stuff in there. So I'll shoot videos on that, but I'm going to, you know, try to dynamat the inside, try to sound deaden it, put the carpet in. I'm going to have to cut and, you know, get that all fitted nice, put the seats back in it. I'm going to paint the door cards or the door panels, whatever you want to call them, with the interior paint like I did the center console. I'm going to do something with that shifter. It's got like a funky shifter, so I don't know how I'm going to figure that out. And I think I'm going to put I ordered a nice head unit for it. So I'm going to put a head unit in it, and I'm going to put a component system with like a 6.5-inch woofer and a tweeter in the door panel. You know, just a nice basic stereo system. So that's the part for the interior. Oh, sorry, kitty cat. The back here, when I got it, had kind of a bad rust spot right here. So I cleaned that up, fixed that. I did hit any heavy rust areas with some rust killer, some acid. It's called Rust Mort. I painted that on. I hit all the heavy spots with some primer. I'm getting ready. What we're gonna do on this is we're gonna scuff this bed. I'm gonna shoot it with epoxy primer, so I have a good base coat, and then we're gonna rafter line it white to match the truck. So it's gonna be rafter line white inside the bed. I'm gonna come up over the rail, and I just haven't decided, but I think I'm gonna try to cut it right where it lips over on the edge. So it's gonna, the rafter liner is gonna come right across the top here. When I first got the truck, like I mentioned, I knew one of the brakes was screwed up in it, so I ended up doing both sides, new front calipers, front rotors. It's got like a weird hub bearing setup. Here's the rotors, the old one sitting over here. They kind of bolt onto the back of the bearing hub, so I took that all apart. I repacked the bearings, made sure the races were good. All that stuff was clean, put new bearing seals in it, new rotors, calipers, pads. The rear brakes, I took them apart, cleaned them, adjusted them. The rear brakes were in real good shape, so they just really needed a cleaning and an adjusting. I did a fuel filter on it. It does need an exhaust system. The tailpipe's kind of rusted out on it, so I got to do something with the exhaust. But this is gonna be, I think this is gonna be the shop truck. We do have some other new equipment around the shop that I picked up over, the last month or so. So maybe I'll do a video on what I bought for equipment and this and that. But just want to show you guys the little truck. What I'm hoping to do is fix it up, and I might drive it in the summer, summertime vehicle, and throw a for sale sign on it, or I might get it finished and just throw it up for sale and just try to make something on it and get it out of my life. But it's a cool truck. I'm kind of into the mini trucks. When I was younger, too young to even want to drive, these trucks are like super popular back in the, I hate to date myself, but back in the early mid 90s, mini trucks were really, really popular. So a lot of people had the Nissans, they had the Toyotas, they had S10 pickups. This is nothing crazy. It's not airbagged. It's just a static drop. It's just dropped in the front with some torsion bars. It's got a reverse flip in the back, so the axle's flipped up over the leaf spring, and the axle's blocked up. So it basically like a reverse lift kit in the back to lower it. But it's not a bad height. I'm thinking about trying to drop it maybe a little bit more. But first, I'm gonna sort out all the known issues, get the bed cleaned up, get the interior together, get the stereo system in it. I'm gonna tint the windows on it. Make sure it runs and dries good. I know the brakes are good, the front end's good. I gotta fix the exhaust, and once I'm done with that, we might do some other stuff. Maybe I'll do a box for the back and throw some subs in it or something. Maybe eventually, if I like the truck and it's treating me well and I'm making good money, maybe, do an air ride kit in the back or something. But for now, just what I went over, doing the bed, making that nice, doing the interior, making that nice, making sure it's safe, making sure it runs well. And we're gonna just keep it simple. Now, we're back with you soon. Be safe out there. And if you like it, if you like the video, go ahead and like the damn video and throw a thumbs up, throw a comment. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.